What is liberty and what is freedom? Often used to describe the same concepts, but they are different. Freedom, the ability to act, live, and think as one wants because they are not hindered by any outside forces like governments, be that federal, state, or local. Also, any other groups that have power and authority in a society. Liberty, on the other hand, is a state of being, it's a state of mind. It's knowing that you're free and acting upon it, and knowing that these freedoms are not given to you by any government or authority group. They're God-given and universal. They're ours to do with what we want. That's liberty. So how does liberty apply to gardening? Today, in our place in history, gardening is mostly known as just a hobby. We have global supply chains, factory farming, and are able to purchase almost any type of food we want whenever we want it. So why would we even need to garden? For me, gardening ties back into liberty, that state of being, knowing I am free and acting upon it to grow some of my own food. It's a way of dropping out of the control system. Gardening is a way to take back some control of my own life, my own health, happiness, and peace of mind, and remembering that I am free. Time spent in the garden has been really good for me. I know that for a fact. Let's talk a little bit about war gardens and victory gardens of the past. War gardens, as they were first named, appeared in America during the First World War. In 1917, a timberman named Charles Lathrop Pack devised a way to increase the food supply. The idea of the victory garden was born. A simple idea: ask average Americans to grow gardens in their yards, vacant lots, and in community plots. The program was popular, but did not last. America's involvement in World War I ended, and America forgot about the victory gardens. Good and prosperous times in the 1920s, then the Great Depression, Dust Bowl, and another Great War in 1941. Once again, the Victory Garden program was brought back to aid in the war effort. Many farmers were overseas in the fight, supply lines were disrupted, and food rationing was in effect. The National Garden Bureau published a Victory Garden manual and printed Victory Garden posters. By the end of 1942, seed sales were up 300%. 20 million families planted 7 million unused acres. World War II Victory Gardens produced 40% of America's vegetables and fruits. Victory Gardens were a big success in World War II. They produced a lot of food and gave the public a sense of purpose, patriotism, and a big morale boost in troubled times. War gardens and victory gardens worked for their time, but today I think we need something new. I think we need liberty gardens. I think it's like Tyler Durden said, we're the middle children of history. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great Depression is our lives. Using our liberty, putting our freedom into action can help a lot with this. Liberty gardens would be different from victory gardens in that they're not for a big cause. They're not for victory. They're not for a war cause. It's just for us to remember that we're free and act upon it. Let's start thinking liberty and start taking back control. Times are always difficult. Sometimes things are weirder than others. Right now it seems like it's kind of a weird time. Terrorist attacks, natural disasters, pandemics, and global supply chain meltdowns. The world seemed pretty out of control lately. We don't have a big war effort today, and that's good. But what we do have is division, chaos, and a world that seems to get weirder every day. By putting some of our freedom into action, practicing our liberty, and gardening, we can take back some of that control. It feels good to practice independence. Grow some of your own food, be that on a large scale or small. Maybe growing a big garden isn't in the cards for you. Maybe you don't have the space. And that's okay. Just start small. Start with one small garden bed in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, maybe grow a little bit of food in some pots on your balcony or patio of your apartment. Try some sprouts or some microgreens. Grow a SCOBY and make some kombucha. Try some sourdough bread. Brew your own beer or make your own wine. Maybe you'd just like to plant a few fruit trees in your backyard. Maybe you'd like to get into fruit tree grafting or practice your liberty by deciding where to spend your own dollars. Maybe you buy from a local farmer or farm stand instead of a big corporate monopoly. And maybe plants and gardening just isn't your thing, have you ever considered chickens? Chickens are great and they're really easy. I've heard some people call chickens the gateway drug to farm animals and homestead animals. Excuse me. After raising chickens for a while and enjoying all those farm fresh eggs, you might decide you want some bacon. Try raising some hogs. This area of my garden does double duty. Right now it's growing peppers and tomatoes and okra, but in the winter I raise 2 hogs here. This space is about 25 by 35. Pigs don't require a lot of space and they're easy. They need a place to get out of the shade, a feeder, and a place to water. In the winter, I usually raise 2 pigs in this space, but it could easily support 4 pigs. Raise 4 or more pigs, get your meat for free, and sell to others. Growing your own beef is going to take a little more space. It takes a lot more time too. You could also buy a quarter or a half beef from a local rancher or farmer. Keep your money local. We can try buying beef and pork from our local locker plants or local processors. Support our local butcher shops. Or maybe you'll get into hunting and fishing. Harvest your own food that way. You could learn all about cooking. Prepare the best meals for yourself. That's liberty. For me, it's gardening, raising my own food, my own chickens, pork, and beef. Maybe none of this gardening or farming stuff would be for you. Maybe you'd like to practice liberty by learning skills, maybe carpentry, plumbing, electrical, learn about solar panels, purify your own water, practice your mechanic skills, work on your own car, learn how to fix your own computer and try it out. Or maybe your idea of liberty would be moving out to the country, getting out of the city, getting out of the suburbs, where you can act upon your freedom more. There is a big movement towards homesteading, much like there was in the 70s with the Back to the Land movement. There's lots of free resources available all over. YouTube's great, books, and the internet. Learn all you can, learn about self-sufficiency, and then start sharing what you've learned with others. Share with your friends and family. Help others learn about freedom and liberty and gardening. I think that's going to do it for this video. If you like this, give me a like and a subscribe. Tell me about it in the comments. Stay weird, keep gardening, be free, practice liberty. Self-sufficiency is practicing freedom. It's liberty.